say freedom's all about letting go, stripping down from all the ego, tasting beauty when it aches in your soul, letting all these restrictions go.
So we're in camp. We're about to do some matches. It's gonna be fun until it's not. Just kidding, it always is. Dawn, she's on the Olympic team. Adeline, she's our most winningest world record holder. And about to make another world team. So this is the rest of Team USA.
I'm feeling great. Honestly, this has been an amazing summer. It's been good prep, and I love being out here in Colorado. I'm training with the whole national team and all the Olympians, and so anytime you get to train with everyone and get everyone in the same room, you know it's going to be a really good push. So this last final camp before we leave for the Olympics, it's definitely everything I needed. So this training camp helped prepare me because we had a match simulation day, and so I got to wrestle a lot of the best US women, and we did tempo matches, and then also just to get to have different bodies and different fields, especially with other high-level women athletes. In Phoenix, I mostly train guys with the high school team, but here in Colorado, I mostly train with women and the women's national team. And that's really valuable because maybe the way you hit a move on one girl is going to feel different on another woman. And so you just kind of have to, like, you have the time to figure it out, like, how is my style working? How is this move particularly working? And then different women have different defenses and different feels. So the more partners that you get to go with, the more feels, the more exposures that you get to have. And so that really also can help build confidence, or it lets you know, like, hey, if I can hit this move on like 5 of the best people, you know, in the whole US, then I'm confident about this move going in. And so that was why it was really valuable to train with the women at our national team camp. Just looking back on this whole Olympic year, and in comparison to prior Olympics, I would say the most, like, just amazing part of this journey is that it's been a really amazing year. I think before 2016, I had so many nerves and put a lot of pressure on myself, and I didn't know what it takes to be the best because I'd never done it before. And there was a really big struggle with my weight. And then in Tokyo, I suffered really bad concussions for most of the quadrennial year. And so I just got healthy basically right before the Olympics. And it was like just this mental and emotional and physical struggle of, like, am I healthy enough to get back to the games? Whereas these third Olympics, it just felt like God's just given me this grace where I get to be in the moment and enjoy every single moment. And I just have such a deep appreciation and love for what I do and for my sport. And I'm so much more calmer and at peace, and I trust myself, and I know what I need, I know what I don't need. And it just really felt like I got to dedicate this year, honestly, to God, and just get to walk with Him through it and get to learn and grow. And it didn't have to be painful and messy, and it didn't have to be the struggle in the way that it was in years prior. It's definitely still always a ton of hard work and a lot of sacrifice, but it's been a joy to do those things. There are definitely sacrifices that I've made throughout the year, and I think sometimes sacrifices just also turn into a way of living and a way of being. You know, for example, like, it's not a sacrifice for me to not eat, you know, junk food. It's just I actually do now enjoy eating healthy. I enjoy eating clean. I don't have to sacrifice, like, not going out with my friends, because I don't really, just kind of got trained out of me just through doing it over and over again, where it's like, no, actually, I really like the life that I'm living now. I don't need that. The big one was I moved away from home when I was 16, and I come from a very close Greek family. I'm the only person that ever moved away from home of, like, my whole extended family. So that was a really big sacrifice, not just on my part, but on my parents to let me go. And I moved away to train with an all-women's team in wrestling. But that was a long time ago. And I would say now I have had to sacrifice salsa and bachata dancing. It's something that I love. And in non-Olympic years, it's kind of like my form of therapy or my outlet. But for the Olympic year, it was like, I'm not going to wear my dance heels. I'm not going to put my foot in that anatomical position. I'm not going to risk any of that. Even just to go out dancing for like 1 hour, that takes away from recovery that I could have or be getting. So I sacrificed that. I also decided at the beginning of the year I wasn't going to watch any TV movies or TV shows, so I've sacrificed that. Traveling, I made a commitment when I met my strength coach, Justin, that I wasn't going to miss a single lift. I felt like lifting and being strong was the big thing that I was missing. And I know that when you start like, oh, I got to train here, or maybe go to this camp or train with these people, you just start missing a week here or there from your program, and, you know, trying to do it remotely sometimes doesn't bring the same results. So I made a commitment that I wasn't going to travel unless I absolutely needed to for this whole year. And so it's like the least amount of travel I've done. Just whatever kind of I feel on my heart needs to be sacrificed. I feel like God reveals it to me. I would say that it's been an absolute honor and a joy to get to make those sacrifices. I think that there's some athletes that they're never put in a position where they even can, or maybe they just never figure it out, or maybe they don't have the right support team or resources around them to even allot them the opportunity to be able to do that or to have that choice. And so I really just consider every moment of my career as a blessing and a gift. And so even to be able to choose to, like, quote, sacrifice something, it's really been, it really is a gift that I get to do that. And I get to learn the lesson of what comes through sacrifice and how that payoff can come and what it instills in me and what it teaches me. So I'm just so grateful that I've got to learn the things that I've learned. I mean, I knew when I was 8 years old that I wanted to go to the Olympics. I said it then because I just joined the sport when I was 7. And a year later, after joining the sport, my parents came to me and they said, hey, you know, we see that you really like this, but there's no women's wrestling. It's not in the Olympics. It's not in, you know, college or universities. Like, what are you going to do? Grow up wrestling boys? That's going to be weird. We don't want that for you. So they said, you have to quit. And then later that exact summer is when the IOC announced that women's wrestling was going to be added to the Olympics. So my parents came back to me and they said, hey, I guess there will be a future for women in this sport. So if you want, you can start wrestling again. And so from that moment, it was like the one thing that I loved got taken from me because there wasn't this pinnacle. And so now how can I not go for that? So when I was 8, I was like, I want to go for the Olympics. I think the advice that I would give to anybody watching this docuseries is that I think that we can really pour ourselves into everything that we do, and it can be a lot more than just the activity in and of itself. And I think people already do that a lot, but I hope that the way that I live my life and the way that I pursue sport would inspire, especially young athletes, to just make the most of it. Use sport as a way to develop your character and grow as a person and learn the lessons. It's like, you know, I equate wrestling for me as like a game of Monopoly, where when I'm playing, the money seems very real to me, but at the end of the day, I know it's not real. So play the game as if it's real, get everything you can out of it, learn everything that there is to learn, but also that healthy perspective of like, at the end of the day, it's just a sport or, you know, it's just a game. And I think that also kind of gives us the freedom to go after things and to try. It's not so serious. If you're nervous about if you have what it takes or if you're enough, just go after it. Just start to figure it out. Just give yourself a chance. The person that I was when I started pursuing this sport of wrestling, I never believed that I could win an Olympic gold medal. I didn't believe that I was tough. I didn't even believe that I was hardworking. I didn't believe those things about myself. And it's just through like chipping away and just building some experiences and having these challenges and then overcoming one. And you're like, oh, I guess I can overcome that. You know, maybe I can overcome this. And then it starts to build. And then I think that really helps, you know, build that belief in yourself. The part that I'm looking forward to the most at the Olympics is honestly competing and having my family there. So when I wrestle for God. And I've had so many cries just at the thought of like, this will all be over soon. And the way that I get to experience God and sport together, I might not, you know, once this is done, I'm not going to experience that again. And so it's just been such a special gift and experience just to get into the zone and to get to wrestle freely, wrestle to the best of your ability. And then to have my parents there, my whole family there. I mean, that's such a gift. They've been with me since day one, and they poured a lot into me, and they made all these sacrifices. And I don't take it for granted at all that they get to be here. And I'm super excited we get to experience that together.